Welcome to the Pool Nation podcast, where it's all pool talk. And we ain't talking about netting and jetting or splashing and dashing. We're talking about becoming a nation of pool pros. We talk about the latest products, trends, and training in the pool industry. Now let's welcome your host, with over a decade of industry insider experience and still the reigning champion of Marco Polo, Edgar De Jesus, and his co-host, John JJ Flawless, the fastest netter in the West, and Zach the Pool Boy Nicholas.
Welcome, everyone, to the Pool Nation Live podcast. I am your host, Edgar De Jesus, and yes, I am the reigning champion of Marco Polo, along with Mr. John JJ Flawless, the fastest netter in the West, and the famous Zach the Pool Boy Nicholas. And yes, I was waiting for a comment there, waiting for the chats, but we're still waiting. You know what? Let me see. Let's see the chat. Anybody? Nah, nothing yet. We'll talk about it here in just a second. Hey, today we're talking about going from hustler to CEO, mastering the 250 plus pool empire phase. I want to welcome everyone to our live podcast, the podcast where it's all pool talk, and we ain't talking about netting and jetting or splashing and dashing. We're talking about becoming a nation of pool pros. And yes, we will talk about the latest products, trends, and training in the pool industry. But before we get started today, I want to thank our visionary partners for this podcast, the SPPA, Blu-ray XL, Aquastar Pool Products, Natural Chemistry, Raypack, Heritage Pool Supply, Hayward Pool Products, Poolside Tech, and Pool Brand. We want to thank them for their continued support. Jenny, good morning. Thank you for the hey handsome. I really appreciate that. It gives me some good confidence to start off the morning here. Mr. Zacharias, how you doing? Here's the thing, Zach. John can't see that comment.
Oh man.
Oh, wait. Before you jump in, Zach, hey, we are live on Instagram. We're kind of playing with these over here. Mr. Benny Roma, big shout out. Diamond Shine Pool Care. Logan, what's up? Hey, Logan, do me a favor. We need to connect. I want to talk to you. Pool Pros out in Brazil. Big shout out. ETX Pool Pros. What's going on? Club de Piscinas, Dyer Pools and Spas. What's going on? Pura Vida Pool and Spa Pro. What's going on? Clear Pool Partners. Big shout out. And Nello's Pool. Big shout out to all you guys out there. So sorry, Mr. Zacharias. Good morning.
Good morning.
How you doing?
Good. Been same report as the last couple of weeks, rocking and rolling. We're doing a lot of cool things. I can't spill the tea yet on any of it. One thing we did is we got a new van, so we're excited about that and going to have another repair tech going. We're off to a great start this year. Weather's turning. It's getting better. We're getting into t-shirt weather. I don't know how you are up there, but starting to warm up down here.
You know, today it's supposed to be like 78 degrees, but yesterday was cold. And this is how I know that I'm getting old. We'll have to figure out how John is figuring out that he's getting old, but I'll tell you how I figured out that I get that I'm getting old. And that is that I leave yesterday at the house, go run some errands, and I've got a jacket on, I got a sweater on, I got all that, and there's all these young kids in like wife beater shirts and shorts and flip flops just walking, and I'm just like, man, I've officially made it, and I'm old, I'm done.
I'm now wearing those. I don't even know what the loafer shoes that everyone wears, and I'm like, yep, I'm getting old, but man, they are like the most comfortable shoes I've ever. I used to laugh about the guys wearing them, and now I'm wearing them.
You make fun of my shoes, but bro, and they're comfortable. That's why I got like 10 pairs of them.
Yes.
Shop like a typical guy. I like this, buy 10 of them. Mr. Flawless, good morning. How you doing?
I'm gracefully embracing my demise.
Oh, poor JJ. Age is catching up with our boy JJ. How does it feel? Go ahead. Make fun of me now, JJ. Go ahead.
No, it's completely different. I mean, I can't even imagine you without your glasses on, right?
Oh,
But
I can't see. I can't see.
yeah, but so for those of you that are actually watching video, you can see this is the first time I've been out in public, or people have gotten to see me with eyewear. I went and picked up my prescription, or my new glasses yesterday, apparently, and I'm having a hard time adjusting to it. But I think I'm just in denial, and I keep hanging on the fact that my vision's still good. I can see, and it's like at the same time I'm like, just accept it, bro. That you're getting
Doctor
older,
says
right? That you need
otherwise,
it,
bro.
right? But look, I have the dog, and I made it very clear. And this is funny, right? We're leaving the optometrist or whatever, and we're doing our thing, and I'm having him clarify. I'm like, so I can still see well, right? And he's like, yeah. And I go, so I go, what's my vision? He's like, well, without corrective lenses, you're 20/20 vision. And I'm like, well, what the hell do I need glasses for, bro? You know what I mean? He's all, but with corrective vision, you're 20/15. And I go, okay, cool. So I get to see better. And he's all, but you're up close. And I'm still confused. I don't know if it's nearsighted or farsighted when you can't see as well up close. Is that farsighted?
That's nearsighted.
That's nearsighted.
Yeah.
Which doesn't make sense to me. Nearsighted means I can see well near, right? Or no?
Your nearsighted isn't good.
So I'm not nearsighted. I'm near decided.
You need to decide what you are.
I'm not. My sight sucks. But and I blame it on the phone, because I don't know what happened. It was maybe about 2 or 3 months ago. All of a sudden, I'm looking at my phone. I'm laying in bed and I'm doing what I'm doing, and I start doing this. Like, what the hell's wrong with my eyes? And I'm like blinking them and trying to. And it was literally like overnight, where if my phone is a little too close to me, I start to see. It almost looks like it looks a little doubled or blurred a little bit, and I have to kind of go back and I have to kind of concentrate really well in order to be able to read it right. And then after about 3 months of this silent struggle that I was going through, because being a typical dude, right? I'm just sitting there in denial, pretending like everything's okay. And I'm like, like maybe I'm not getting enough sleep, or maybe I'm just tired, or, you know what I mean? I'm taking vitamins. I'm looking up stuff, right? I'm trying to figure out what the hell's wrong with me, because I've never had anything wrong with me. And then finally I told Jeannie, I go, I think I need to go look at my eyes. I need to go to an optometrist. Set me up for an appointment so I can go get my vision checked. And then she did, and then I went there, and then that's what they told me. And then I went and got my glasses, and I see well. I mean, I see really, really well when I'm up close. The screen's much, much better, but
much more crisp.
It is much more crisp.
Yeah.
And I'm embracing it.
You better embrace it, because look, over here we've got big shout out to Blue Tide Pools. Yo, happy Friday. And then it says, they're saying that you sound like you're undecided, John. And then they're saying you're nearly blind. It's nearsighted, you're nearly blind. And then Coastal says it looks good, but then that pool guy is saying embrace the aftermarket parts.
Right. Look, so I've been practicing I used to always tease, when you watch on TV and you watch a movie or a TV show or whatever, and every time a guy will take off his glasses, they're like, you know what I mean? So I've been like practicing that look, and
you need to practice it for when you give somebody a price and they balk at you.
Yeah, I'd be like, hold on, let me.
Hold on.
Well, I'm waiting for that. Hold on, let me put my glasses on real quick so I can.
John will be one of those doing repairs later on like this, with the glasses like this, kind of looking down, kind of trying to see the part at the bottom. And go ahead, Zach, have a field day today. But you know what's going to happen is you are going to catch up, and when you catch up, bro, we are.
Bet you I'm worse than John. I just have been in denial.
Yeah.
It looks like when I drive at night, it looks like I'm on Star Wars, like going through the galaxy or something. So I'm probably like a danger on the road at night.
So that's why you drive that way. That makes sense.
That makes total sense. Hey, big shout out here. Diamond Shine Pool Care, DFW. I know I'm old, dude, to every muscle being sore from a day's work. Oh, yeah. And then Club de Piscinas podcast. We recently started our podcast here in Brazil, but it's already a success. It was very successful with great engagement with the pool boys. So big shout out to our boys out there in Brazil. Big shout out, Adam Pool Solution. Big shout out to you as well. And by the way, John, your family, hey, Pool Rangers, what's going on? Big shout out. Hey, I do have to say, John, you guys are mean with your family.
Are we?
Yeah, read the screen. What does the screen say?
Where?
Now that you have glasses on and you can read it, read.
Oh. I got like
Blind boy.
Yeah, we played How Far You Can See at night with the family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys literally sat there and played to see how far you could read?
Yeah, well, I was
how far you can see.
Look, it's just me being me. Like, nothing's wrong with me. My vision's great.
Can you see that billboard up
and
there?
I'm like, look, I can see, and I'm taking my glasses off, and I'm sitting there going, and I'm like, and I'm looking, and on some of them, I'm like using my brain to figure out what it says, right? Instead of really seeing it, right? I'm like, yeah, that's what that says. Can you read it? And then I'm literally having Janie like slow down, and then everybody whenever they're able to read that sign over there, say it out loud. You know what I mean? And then we're going and we're like playing like competition, right? I'm super competitive, right? But with my kids, and I'm sitting there going, okay. And we're going, and I'm blurting out City of Palm Desert, you know what I mean? Or whatever. And the kids
you just memorize all the signs.
Yeah, right. But that's what we were playing. And just because I'm in denial.
Because you got your glasses?
Yeah, no, I had my glasses off. And then I was saying, okay, when I look, it feels like when I put them on, I'm like, I have like superhuman eyes, you know, like I'm like a Hawkeye or something like that, and that's why I'm gonna wear them, because I want to have the upper hand. Hawkeye. But speaking about getting old, I don't know who said the comment about, you know, your every bone in your body or muscle aches, you know, after a hard day of work. Yeah, right, brother. Yeah. I feel you. Janie and I, we play a game, and it's funny. We literally laugh. And if whoever's in, like, we're laying in bed and somebody gets up, or Janie gets up, and I swear she gets up and crack, 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 crack. You hear like 14 different pops, and I'm like, how many was that? 14? From hip to knee to elbow, you know, just from like, you know, just getting old, and the stuff that you took for granted when you were younger, you know, it becomes a hard reality.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately.
So that's part of life, baby. Part of life. So,
yeah.
Hey, everybody, want to talk really quick. We're going to be talking about the next phase, which is the Empire Pool Pro phase out here. But before we do that, I want to talk about the Heritage Boot Camp, which is going to be March 27th out here in Dallas, Texas area, out in McKinney. It's going to be at Heritage headquarters, and we are going to be doing day one. It's going to be hands-on. We're going to be doing pumps, filters, automation, wiring the pad. So that's going to be day number one out there for all the pool pros. Day two, what we're actually doing is two different tracks. So we're doing a technical class track where you're going to be doing elevating pool care. You're going to be talking about different alternative sanitizers, ozone systems. Mr. Arco is going to do the blueprint, the balanced water. We're going to do a class on mastering algae prevention. And then we are going to be doing an electrical class on bonding and grounding. And then on the business side, we're going to do a business track, and that's going to be business efficiency, master your operational efficiencies. We're going to do the basic principles of leadership, understanding financials, business metrics, and your cost of service, and then driving results through accountability. So that's actually going to be on March 28th. And by the way, I got 3 more signups today, people, for the $10,000 Pool Pro Challenge. For those of you listening out there, what that is kind of think of it as easiest way to describe it, kind of like an Olympics, right? You'll have some different trials that you'll have to go through in order to try to achieve getting to the semifinals and the finals. But basically, you'll go through a couple of rounds of, you know, repairs, troubleshooting, whatever it is, and you will have a score based on time, based on accuracy. And you will be able to see if you qualify to be able to go to Las Vegas, where we're going to be doing the finals in Las Vegas. And first prize is going to be $10,000 cash. There's going to be some other things. We'll talk about those as we get there closer. But guys, I just got 3 more signed up that are going to the one here at Heritage. So we're going to do the first qualifiers there. So, even if you don't come to the boot camp, but you want to go to that $10,000 championship, get out there. You can go to Pool Nation. You can go to the championship button, click on it. You can register. It's free. And then you'll get an email and we will get you some information to come out to Heritage. The next week, right after that, we turn around, jump on a plane. So what's that? Zach gets back on Sunday, turns around, jumps back on a plane on Wednesday. So do I. And we head out to Oxnard, California, over to Raypack headquarters. And we're going to be doing another boot camp out there. And we're going to be doing hands-on on day 1. And then day 2, we are going to be doing some business classes as well. A little bit different. We are going to talk about operational efficiencies, but we're going to talk about ensuring financial security, unlocking profit and growth, and then profit strategies. And then right after that, at about 3:45, we do the second qualifier for the $10,000 Pool Pro Challenge. So those of you that are in the West Coast, you could go out there. Now, you're still able to go to Las Vegas at the PSP Expo when we have this event on October 22nd, and you can go through the different qualifiers. But if you've gone to one of these 2 events, you will already have done some of the qualifiers. So it's kind of like home court advantage, right? So you get a bye, so you don't have to kind of go through those qualifiers. And then you will be able to try to reach to the finals, $10,000 for first place. The second place will get a whole pad. We have some other things that are coming in through the pipeline for second and third place. But it's all out. Championship belt, podcast, cover of the magazine. We're going all out. And gentlemen, this thing is starting to heat up because I'm starting to get a lot of people kind of messaging going, that money's mine. like they're being vocal going, you shouldn't do this competition. You should just give me the $10,000 cash because I'm coming swinging.
Are we going to need security?
I'm sorry. You're talking about all these air flights that we're going to have to take and stuff, and I'm getting all paranoid from
I converted him.
Zach got me, Edgar. He got me.
He got you?
He got me. He put me down the rabbit hole, dude. I've been
John's awakened.
Well, the beauty of it is Zach is going, let's just get an RV and we'll drive. I'm like, but then we'd have to have somebody drive. So it's the same thing. You're putting a pilot to drive you versus an RV guy to drive you.
Yeah, no.
If we leave on the 28th, Edgar, after the Heritage boot camp,
we'll make it on time.
Yeah, we'll be there on time.
Right? Literally, you have no time to stop. Right? You'll be like, let's go.
It'll be like, let's go. Let's make it there. So it only takes.
No, look, you're right. It is starting to heat up, Edgar. And I'm getting more and more messages and more. I'm getting phone calls and people ask me about this and stuff like that. I'm like, dude, like everybody is able to qualify if they go to, or has a chance to qualify and has a chance to participate. It's completely free. All you got to do is show up, right? And bring your A game, bring your A game and show us what you got. And if you successfully pass the qualifier, then you get to show up to the championship in Vegas and have your shot at the $10,000 in cash. I mean, I don't know. There's no strings attached. There's no gimmicks. There's no nothing. We created this because we want to showcase some of the unsung heroes out there in the industry, There's a lot of repair guys and gals out there that go out there and do a lot of amazing work that don't necessarily either they're business owners and they're not in the, actually out there doing the work, but when they did do the work, they did amazing work, or employees who work for bigger companies, especially builders that are W-2 employees that they go out and they work their 9 to 5 and they hustle and install some pretty amazing pads, and they're top in their game, but yet they don't necessarily have the recognition or the opportunity to be able to showcase their skills outside of the people that work with them or who they work for. And I have business owners from companies, they say, hey, look, I got builders are like, dude, I got my son, or I got a tech that is I'd put up against any plumber in the industry when it came down to plumbing pads. I'm like, dude, this is for him. Give it as like this can be it's like I wouldn't say it's a gift, but it's a perk. Like, hey, you do great and amazing work. We're gonna send you out to the championship, and you're gonna have a chance to be able to win $10,000 cash, right?
And here's Gold Medal Pool is sending 3 of their pool techs out.
Dude, I mean, for real.
They're like, this is great for our staff. Let's get them out there. And they sent me the pictures. They sent me the names and all that kind of stuff. So
talk about incentives to be able to offer to your employees, right?
On.
Or to your tech. I mean, if you have a group of techs and say, hey, look, our best technician or our best repair guy or gal or whatever, at the end of the year, we'll pay for you to go to Las Vegas so that you can compete in this with a chance to win $10,000 in cash prizes. I mean, that's quite the incentive there.
Yeah. So you ready for this? Watch my camera. Watch my camera. Are you ready?
Do it.
You ready? Woo, baby.
Don't get up and start, as long as you don't get up and start twerking or anything, right?
That was Zach. When I sent the video, he started dancing. He started, what he did is he ran for the floor trying to pick up all the money.
I spit my food out when you sent that video.
So anyways, yeah. So absolutely, get out there, sign up your people. Zach, do you have anybody that you're going to send? No, you can't send Justin.
I need him.
Yeah, you need him, but did you tell him that there's 10 grand on the line? He might tell you, forget you, I'm going.
He might.
Yeah.
We just got to split it.
Oh, baby. So, yeah. So anyways,
that'd be a bad look, right?
If he wins, that would be.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's disqualified. He doesn't get to
before
participate.
he even started.
Yeah, that would be that wouldn't be good. So, but anyways, all right, people, let's get started with this podcast. So, in the last couple of episodes, we have been talking about the different phases that the pool pros go through their journey. Right? We talked about the the foundational one, really. And like Zach likes to say, don't get too hung up on the exact number, but it's kind of something. You got 30, 40, 50 pools, right? You're one pooler. You're kind of starting your business. You're in that foundational phase. Then number 2, you kind of go to what we call kind of the balancing act, right? And that's when you are doing 80 to 100 pools. You're doing everything by yourself. You're dealing with customers. You're doing billing. You're doing repairs. You're doing it all, right? That phase completely changes because it goes from being able to have a lot of time to focus on your business to kind of overwhelming. And really it starts to get to the stage where you start to hit that burnout phase, right? Because you're just kind of managing it all. And then one of the trends that we see is at that stage, what happens is you kind of come out and you hire that first person, right? You think that by hiring that first person, all your problems are going to go away. And really it kind of creates, that chaos. John, I'm going to be like a parent here. Put your glasses on. And
you saw me struggling. I couldn't.
I don't know if you guys noticed, but his face went closer and closer like that to the camera. And it was, he's getting a little too close. So, you really kind of go through that balancing act. And then from there, you kind of go into, the scaling stage, right? Now you bring on that employee, you're doing a lot of the work yourself still. You have that workload. You thought that by bringing somebody, it was going to make things a lot easier, but now you find yourself, holy crap, now I have to do everything. Plus I have an employee and I have to manage them and I got to make sure he does the pool rights and I have to engage this employee and I got to worry to make sure that they're happy that they stay, because if they all of a sudden drop when you have 150 pools, you're going to have this, this bigger chaos. And then from there, you really kind of get into the stage or the phase that we're going to talk about today, which is the empire phase. And that is really when you kind of look at this, right? When you start to look at it and you start to do like most business owners do. And, they put their eye on the prize. And Zach, you could probably kind of relate to this, kind of going, man, I just kind of want to get my revenues to $1 million, right? I want to be able to get the, and let me tell you, it's hard to get to that $1 million, right? But but that's the mindset that kicks in, is that people go and say, now I want to turn this into my empire. I want to turn this into being able to run a successful business. And so really quick, at this phase, when you're starting to get there, your business is really transitioning into a full scale operation, and it requires a lot of sophisticated systems in place. Obviously a larger team. You at this stage really need to focus on your leadership. It needs to be a first mindset, right? You need to develop that leadership. And, this is where you really have to step away from the day-to-day tasks. You have to step away from cleaning pools, from doing repairs, from doing all that, and focus on the business strategy of how you're going to try to get to that $1 million. How are you going to be able to build a model that's going to be able to be scalable and successful? And there's a lot of other things that come into play. And, it's, you really kind of have to go back to dealing with that, quality control, right? Making sure that your people are trained and that they're doing a good job so that you don't get complaints, and really kind of optimizing your business becomes, your first priority.
Look, I was just giggling at when you were talking about the transition when you go from being a single poler and thinking that, hey, I'm going to hire an employee and everything's going to be so much better, right? And the rude awakening that we all get and we experience. And it's funny, you can apply that same madness to every stage, right? You think you're ready for it until you're in it, right? And then you realize all the new responsibilities and how the game plan needs to change. It's funny. But it's the reason why it's so difficult. You don't know what you don't know, and it's just, I don't know. I giggle at it sometimes, and our mind frame has to. We have to almost detach ourselves from our reality, and look at things through a different perspective. And that's what we're trying to do here, right? When we're talking about certain experiences in these stages and saying, hey, look, these are the things that you're going to be going through, even though you're not going through them yet, right? And these are some of the ways you need to plan for it in order to make this journey as bump free, or as less bumpy. But time and time again, and I'm victim to it, and I'm sure you are, Zach. I mean, we all know these stages. We all talk about them. We all learned about them, and yet we still fall into these some of these
traps,
pitfalls. Yeah, we do. Yeah. And I don't know what it is. I can't really put my finger on it, but it's like when you sometimes, and I joke and I kid and I tell this to my children. Or I tell it to Janie sometimes, and I'll tell her, I go, do as I say, not as I do. You know what I mean? Like, but I know the answer, but being able to make the connection and actually doing it and living it, it's tough. And, this empire stage, or this stage 4 is really where it all happens. Right. And I think you are literally this close, to be able to reach whatever your dreams and your aspirations are, and obviously it is to scale, because you've already made that decision to scale, because there's no way you're doing 250 pools, or no way you're doing 200 pools, or no way you're really doing 150 pools right, on your own. You are scaling. You've decided to scale, and you're looking to build a bigger operation. At this point, when you have 2, 3, 4, 5 employees, and then you're looking to get bigger, it is probably the most stressful time of your small business ownership career, and it's just, I don't know. We go through these stages because we're trying to make life a little bit easier for us, right? We're trying to get to the point so that we can be more financially secure. We can let off the gas a little bit personally, because
And we don't have
getting
as much stress.
Yeah, we're trying to, like, relieve ourselves of stress, and we want to delegate, we want to, build this and stuff, but it just seems like every time we take that step to that next step, instead of it getting easier, it just gets 10 times harder. But does it ever get easy? I don't know.
It gets different.
It does get different. I think that's exactly it, right? It's a whole different type of problems, right? That you have to deal with. It's just funny.
Because we've talked about the 3 other stages leading up to this, and one of the things that we kept, putting out there was that all of these things compound on top of each other. It's not like once you get through phase 1, it's like I've mastered those and like those don't apply anymore, and now I'm only focused. It's like, no, we've got to bring those into phase 2, and then the things from phase 2 we've got to bring into phase 3, and you're basically putting this all together. And at this point, when you get to the empire stage, it's hopefully you're in a position to where a lot of those things from the prior phases have been able to be delegated to other people. And so at this point is where, you're really, like Edgar always talks about, like you're removed from the it at this point, and you're now working on the business and your personal growth as a leader, your ability to delegate, to have things completed by other people, motivate them and hold them accountable and lead them. And it's funny because I'm at a point in my journey where my stressors are different than what they were before. Like a lot of the things that were very stressful and put a lot of pressure on me in previous years, like I've been relieved of those, but now I've got a whole different set of things that are, filled the place of those.
So
No,
yeah,
go ahead.
I wanted to ask Zach, because obviously Zach is in this phase, right? Zach is in kind of building the empire phase, if we kind of take a look at it. And what I want to do is not throw you a curveball, but I want to ask you and let John jump in, so it gives you a couple minutes to kind of think about it. But what would you say are, I don't know, maybe 3 to 5 key critical things that you see yourself now having to kind of overcome to be able to continue to grow?
So while Zach ponders on that for a little bit, what I was gonna jump in and say, and you kind of touched on it, Zach, when you said, some of the problems or issues that you had before, you've been relieved of them, right? And you and I both know what some of those struggles are, because we've talked to them before, and part of it is, being able to have somebody to help you manage the business, right? And, somebody you can depend on that can actually help you run it without you having to run it, right? And that can take care of some of those tasks that you were bombarded with on a day-to-day basis while you were trying to do everything else on your own, and being able to hire a manager to handle those things. What I was getting at is, at this stage, and we touched on it at the Instagram Live on Wednesday, is the importance of your people, right? And how important it is at this stage that you have built yourself a quality or a good team, or at least you have a canvas you can work with, and you don't have, your turnover rate isn't through the roof, and you don't have somebody that you can rely on to help you through this, because it's impossible to be able to achieve, to be able to scale larger than where you're at without being able to depend on somebody to help you through these types of things. So your team members and the employees they're always critical, but at this stage, it is like life-threatening for your business if you
It's
don't
the
have
heartbeat of the
proper
industry
team.
at this
If you don't,
stage. I mean,
if you don't have the right team in place,
Yeah.
along with processes and procedures and some form of consistency and structure, right? Because people crave structure, people crave consistency, right? And you need to have that for order in your business, or else it becomes, it becomes everything goes haywire, and it's hard to build, and it's a lot easier to destroy at this stage than it is to build.
It's interesting because, you asked me the 3 to 5 things, and I kind of just hashed some out real quick, and they're all people related. And so I find myself at this point, and to kind of go through a couple of them, some of the things that I find myself focused on now is delegating effectively, um, empowering people with trust. And what I mean by that is you've got to get to a point of not micromanaging. And like you said, finding the right people that you can trust they're going to do the job right. They're going to be able to take it, run with it, put their own, touches on however you're doing it and get it done. And then for me, it's really learning people. Like, I'm kind of identify as an introvert. And now I find myself more than ever having conversations and, kind of getting the ball rolling on like, here's how, what we need to do. Here's what I think. And then having to follow up whatever time frame later, whether it's days, weeks, whatever, and be like, okay, where are we at with that? And then trust them and empower them to be able to take that project to the finish line. Um, I mean, everything I find myself dealing with right now is all people. And I'm now on this new journey of trying to understand how to be that leader that is, I guess, tailored. And we've talked about this through the years. Like, you have to approach everyone differently. Like, what makes this person tick and motivates them may not be the same thing that makes this person tick. And like, how you approach that conversation with this person is not going to be exactly the same as you approach the conversation with that person. And so it's interesting because, again, all of the things that we did leading up to this and that I had to work on, you talked about processes and procedures, and I had, like, going through that journey, I had to identify those, I had to find solutions, I had to put those processes in place, I had to teach those processes. All of that still applies, but now we're to the point where we're putting the right people in the right seats to kind of carry the torch in those areas to get those things done. And now it's to the point where I'm getting like, hey, we created a new process for handling this, and this is how we're going to do it. And I'm just like, great, run with it. Let's go. It's a lot different at this stage.
And I think one of the things that we need to understand as business owners, and when we start in the industry, we kind of go out there, we work hard, we hustle. We think that because we work harder, we will do better. And that's the case at the beginning, right? You take your baby, you grow it from 40 to 80 to 100. But then it gets to the stage that as a business owner, you need to understand that in order for you to succeed, you have to bring people on. And when you bring people on, your job is exactly what you were saying, Zach, and that is now you have to delegate the components of your business to other people. The difference is those that are successful will take those people, train them, and manage them, right? Give them the tools and the ability, exactly like you're saying, here's your job, here's what you're supposed to do. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold you accountable to ensure that you're doing that job. A lot of the challenges, a lot of people have a hard time letting go. That's when the micromanaging comes in, right? Because you just think that if you work harder and if you micromanage and you touch everything, your business is going to be more successful. And it's not, because then at that point, you start to create that toxic work environment where people are going to turn, they're going to leave. You are not hiring people that are better than you to be able to do some of those things. And a lot of people have a hard time with that. They don't want to bring somebody else because they feel threatened that, hey, if I bring John to do X, Y, he's smarter than me. He knows better than me, right? I want everybody to think that I know and I am the ultimate, guru at this. And if you're going to be successful, you have to be able to trust those people that you hire, and you have to bring them on to be able to help you run your business, because you can no longer do right? You can't do the task. And this stage is all about team. It's all about leadership. It's all about management and making sure that you become that servant leader so that your team thrives.
Yeah, look, I mean, this is truly the time where you change, right? Your whole perspective and your duties change from a primary role in your business to a support role, right? You are not the end all be all, the go to, the person, that people come to. You have a team of people in place, like Zach is talking about, where you entrust them, and you have to let go, right? You have to allow people to be able to run with it, and not only trust that they'll get the project done, but also accept the fact that they will fail while they do it. And it's our job to help them, get through it, right? Or to be there for them and to help guide them and train them and coach them through their journey, right? They become the face of the company. They become the manager, the owner, or whatever it may be, that your people rely and depend on, opposed to you being the one, or like I was saying, the primary role, in the office. And that's hard. I mean, that's really difficult to do, especially when you built this thing up from the ground up with your own two hands,
Your baby.
It is, and it's tough to let it go, but this is a cold, hard reality that every single business owner in this stage, if they choose, not saying that you can't make it, right? You look, of course you can, but what we're saying is that the struggle will be much more difficult, and you will not be nearly as successful as you possibly could be if you don't embrace these changes and accept your new responsibilities, right? As a business owner at this time in of your company's lifespan, so it is it's hard. It's really hard to do. It goes against all instinct, for a business owner at that moment, and I've also seen the other way around too. Now, look, there's an extreme from one side to the next, and I've seen the business owner that finally gets to this point, or wants to hurry up and rush to this point so that they can just take their hands off the steering wheel and be an absentee landlord as well, right? And just be completely out the picture and allow the children and the hens run loose in the whatever you want to call it, right? Without any guidance or control or structure or support that's needed. And then that's when everything can just get destroyed much quicker, right? You can build something for 10 years, right? With blood, sweat, and tears and hard work, and it all can be destroyed within a week. If you have certain things happen, or the wrong people making the wrong decisions, in your company. So again, it's and I've said this a million times. It's not easy. If it was something that you can just literally read in a book and say, okay, if I just follow X, Y, Z and do A, B, and C, and I apply it to this industry or there or whatever, then I'm automatically going to be successful. You're not. That helps, gives you foundation, and the things that we're talking about here too help you with the generalities and the business understanding or the business acumen and knowing what to expect and what to do. But so much of it relies with the one thing that Zach was talking about and I brought up, and Edgar also jumped on it, is people, right? And they are somewhat predictable, but they are unpredictable.
Oh yeah, people are one of the hardest.
And it's a never. People and dealing with people in society and different generations and things like that, it changes. And so it's this thing that you've got to keep staying in tune with and keep developing. And you talked about like people failing, and they're going to fail. And I think that's one of the things over the last year or two that I've gotten really comfortable with is like, we're not, as much as we want to be perfect at all times, like if you sit there and you are just trying to hold it all together and like stay on top of every little thing and like, no, don't do that, you're making a wrong decision. Like I've kind of learned that you've got to make people make decisions. And especially if it's a decision that's not detrimental. Like, you know what? Like if they make the wrong decision in this situation and we have a customer that may be a little bit frustrated or something, it's like we can handle that as long as there's not like something that's putting people in danger or detrimental to the business. I try to let people kind of go through the motions, and because it's all coachable, and then they get the real experience of like, yeah, may not have been the best decision, but when you're faced with this in the future, um, now you're a little bit more armed to be able to
Dude.
handle that situation. And one more thing is Golden State talked about processes and systems and things like that. Those are like the bumpers for you at the bowling alley. And your bowling ball is the person, and you can let them loose, and you've got the systems and the processes and the guardrails to make sure that things stay on track and are headed in the right direction.
It's funny that you say that, because I just listened to a video, and it was Jeff Bezos talking about his leadership and his company, and times that they got to the point where they disagreed, right? Like somebody would come to him and say, "Here's what we need to do," and he would say, "Well, let's come and talk about it," right? And to him, he knew it was the wrong thing to do. But here was somebody that he was trying to develop to be a leader. And sometimes he would need to take the step back and look at it and kind of go, I know that he's going to fail, but the only way that he's going to learn is by me allowing him to fail, right? And he said exactly what you were saying. As long as it wasn't detrimental to the business, as long as it wasn't going to affect any of the company in a big way, he would let those people go down that path and learn through that failure, and then have to kind of come back to him and say, hey, this and this and this didn't work. And he would be able to sit there and kind of coach them to, when I looked at it, here were the things that I was looking at, but here were the things that you were so attached to that you couldn't let go, right? You were asphyxiated with those things that you couldn't let go. And you kind of have to do that in business. There's times where, you're going to disagree with somebody, but just like you're saying, you have to let them go out and kind of try it and fail. And that's kind of where we learn. We learn through those failures.
Or prove that it was an effective approach, and then it works out. I mean, I've had it go that way too.
Well, his approach was, I'm going to be a team player, and I'm going to go along with you on this ride. I'm not going to tell you that you're wrong, that you're doing it wrong. I'm going to give you all the support that I could give you to try to make that successful, right? So you can't just kind of go and then let somebody try to do something and set them up for that failure, but you have to kind of give them that support in that process.
Well, look, it plays in hand with like the golden rule of like performance management. And when it comes down to how do you get buy-in from your employees, right? We all know that it's impossible to expect, or it's unrealistic to expect an employee to have the same skin in the game as you as a business owner, right? And it's the fight or the journey trying to find an employee who has the passion, the heart, the want, the desire, you know what I mean, to work as hard for you as you would for you, right? But it just doesn't work that way. So, or I'm getting at is having these, and like what you're talking about, Edgar, these and Zach, the controlled explosions or the controlled chaos, right? And allowing things to happen, knowing that it isn't going to destroy your company, but allow them to make the mistake and learn from it, right? I take it a little step further, when it comes down to like coaching people or getting people's buy-in to do things. Nobody loves to be told what to do, right? And when people have ideas, or when people feel like they don't have a voice, is when they don't perform as well as they can, or to the maximum capacity. So what I would always do, and this is the way you would coach, like for instance, like back in my day, right? I would do performance reviews, raises, hire, fire with thousands of people. And when I would sit down with my managers and I would have my performance review, or I would have a conversation with them, when it came down to, how well they did, or their responsibilities, I would always open the conversation with, okay, well, what do you think? What do you think you do well, right? And let them speak for themselves, right? Okay, great. What do you think I do well? What do you think I can do better? Or what do you think we can do better, right? And get their buy-in. Have them come up with the idea, have them come up with a solution on their own, right? And then run with it. Because what it creates is buy-in from that individual, because now they have personal ownership in, and regardless of whether it's right or wrong, right? And you can make that decision. This is that controlled chaos part. Like, okay, I don't think this is going to work. You know what I mean? But instead of shooting them down and saying, no, you should do it like this instead, right? You allow them, you give them that breathing room so that they can take ownership in something, and you can watch the amount of effort that goes into something that they came up with, right? And they're trying to enforce or do or change, versus something that they're directed to do, right? And it's mind-blowing, right? The amount of engagement you get from your people when you allow them to create, these processes, or to implement change, or to do things a little bit different. And it makes them feel like you actually give a shit about them, or you care about them, right? And sometimes it might cost you money and time, and yeah, it might be a futile, exercise,
Yep.
but long game, we're talking here, right? The amount of confidence and trust that you instill in them, you can't really put a number in it, because you create a loyalty, right? And you get their buy-in to where they feel, responsible and obligated, just as much as you would as a business owner. I don't know if that makes any sense.
Yeah,
but
that does.
100%.
And now I have a question for you, Zach. And all of a sudden we're kind of interviewing Zach here. I was thinking about this as we were just talking a couple minutes ago. Just thinking about where you've come in the last 6 months of that journey, right? And sometimes it feels like we kind of get stuck in one of these phases, and it feels like we kind of can't break out, right? But have you seen as well in the last 6 months the huge transition that your company is making?
Yeah.
Or no, because you're so in depth into it.
No, I see it. And one of the biggest indicators, I might have talked about this before, is like I kind of found myself in a position of figuring out what I'm supposed to be doing. Because it's like you're in the business working on all of these things, and you've kind of got your head down and you're moving forward. And then, as everyone starts learning their role and the things they're supposed to be doing, and taking more of that ownership and making more of those decisions, and then we hired Jennifer, and she took on the role of service manager, and a lot of that came off my plate. And so for the last 6 months, it's been very noticeable to kind of, I could probably just not even show up to work on Monday, and I doubt anyone would even really care or notice whether I was there or not. And that, once I started to kind of realize that, it was weird, because now I'm at that point of like figuring out this new path for me.
Yeah. Comment here. Employees need confidence in you as a business owner to buy in. You should be honest with them about your growth plan and strategy. If they know you're going to win, they are excited to be part of it. And that's, yeah, I agree absolutely 100%. Right. And I think that's one of the things that as business owners at the beginning, we're afraid, right? Do we share too much? Do we not share? Do if we share that we're not there, are they going to struggle and they're going to just be like, oh, well, this is not the company? But you be amazed how much people buy in and go fight with you if they know where you're at, where your plan is, where you want to be as a company. People want to be part of something bigger, and man, they will come in fighting tooth and nail.
But I
Hey,
think a lot of that ties in, and John talks about this a lot, is the respected leader, right? And depending on what type of leader you are, I think greatly affects, with your level of transparency, how they're going to respond to that and whether they're going to feel like they're fighting with you or they're being taken advantage of. I don't know if that makes sense, but I feel like those things kind of go hand in hand.
Absolutely. Hey guys, we have been talking for 55 minutes and we haven't taken a word from our sponsors, but let's do this. So there's two things. So we haven't even gotten into talking about the key takeaways from this phase. We haven't talked about, the things that you should be focusing on to kind of master and really kind of thrive in this empire stage. So let's do this. Let's take a word from our sponsors. When we come back, I want to get final thoughts for you guys. And then what we will do on the next podcast, what we'll do is we'll do a deep dive into the keys to success for this stage and the key takeaways for them as well. We'll be right back.
Hang on. Hi, Howard.
Hey, there, wait. There's Howard right there. There you go, Mr. Howard Pringle. Welcome to the podcast. All right, we'll be right back.
The Hyper Pole from Ultimate Pool Tools is a pool care pole designed by pool professionals for pool professionals, featuring precision crafted carbon fiber and stainless steel construction. Go to ultimatepooltools.com or Instagram at Ultimate Pool Tools. Pool pros have specific needs when it comes to general liability insurance. The SPPA program has you covered. With 3 tailored and customizable general liability options, SPPA makes it easy for pool pros to feel secure. Find out more and get covered at thesppa.com. Now available, Pool Invoice. Pool Invoice is a pool billing software created specifically for the pool service and repair industry. It's developed for our industry and only our industry. Pool Invoice is built with recurring billing in mind. You can print, email, text invoices, or even send via WhatsApp. You can add recurring or yearly charges, accept credits, and set up autopay. You can even see when customers have seen the invoice. It even has a customer portal where they can log in and see, print, and pay invoices. It has all your customers' information on one page, so you don't need to search through hundreds of invoices looking for the one you need. Just go to the customer profile and it's all at your fingertips. Created specifically for the pool industry, Pool Invoice. Now available at poolinvoice.com. Blu-ray XL is the power of minerals working for you. Reduce your overall chemical costs and labor up to 50% guaranteed. Whether you have 20 accounts or 20,000, Blu-ray XL's direct pricing and free shipping to the pool trade have you covered. Improving pool professionals' profit and work-life balance is what they do. Blu-ray XL, the real mineral purifier. Visit them at BluRayXL.com.
Blu-ray all day.
Aquastar's new pipeline cartridge filters, available 2 sizes, deliver top-notch hydraulic efficiency along with best-in-class filtration performance, approaching that of DE filters. Uniquely designed, open pleat spacing means 100% of the media square footage is usable. And these claims are backed by NSF test results. Designed with the pro's time and comfort in mind, the patented double locking system improves safety and ease of access, making filter cleaners faster than ever before. Available now. Ask your supplier for pipeline filters today.
Natural Chemistry, a leader in specialty water care solutions for over 30 years, is proud to provide products that make pool service easier than ever before. Its unique enzyme formulations in Pro Series Pro Blend improve efficiency of your pool program while reducing frequency of filter cleaning and scum lines. Natural Chemistry is also well known for its wide variety of phosphate removal solutions that include a non-clouding formula in Phos-Free and extremely high-range removal with Pro Series Phos Remove or Phos-Free Max. Save time, save money, save work with Pro Series products. Stop sacrificing durability or efficiency with the help of Raypak's new Avia HD models that utilize NITEC, their exclusive industry-first technology. NITEC heat exchanger technology is Raypak's latest solution to superior strength and maximum efficiency when it comes to residential pool heating. With 900% more nickel compared to copper nickel in critical surfaces, NITEC creates an ideal surface to protect against scale formation and erosion without compromising on Avia's 84% thermal efficiency. Learn more at raypak.com/NITEC. The next evolution in lighting is here. Universal Color Logic 2.0 from Hayward. The latest in pool and spa lighting was designed with you in mind, making installation a breeze. Upgrades include a detachable cord and first-of-a-kind adjustable lower catch to overcome variations in plaster thickness. As always, Universal Color Logic lights retrofit into virtually any in-ground pool or spa while delivering industry-leading, vibrant color. Visit hayward.com to discover more.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Pool Nation Live podcast. We continue our conversation. We're talking to Mr. Zacharias. We ended up actually interviewing Mr. Zacharias today is what we did. Oh, John. You're making the first mistake right off the bat. Wow, that just aged you about 75 years.
Is that wrong?
That was an old guy move, like really bad, right, Zach?
He's new.
He's new? Is that what it is?
new.
You're going to forgive him for that?
You got to let him fail sometimes. He'll figure it out.
John, let's sit down and talk about this journey of
we're practicing what we preach right now, right?
Look at him with the glasses, and he's looking at his phone right now, just kind of trying to read down there, and his eyes are reading to the bottom of the glasses where the heavy prescription is at.
I feel I told you out now.
I did do the old look, remember I got bifocals instead of, you can see, right? Instead of the fancy progressive, because they say it takes your eyes.
You should have gone progressive.
No, I should have, but
it goes quick. It within a day or two, you're used to it. So
hold on,
but it's all good. But that means that he totally does have the old man glasses, because it's got that little square in the middle that is for the reading up close.
I told you I'm embracing my demise, dude.
You can see on the glasses the part where it's like the thick for the reading, and from a distance you can see the magnifying glass kicking.
You guys are my friends.
And then here you go. You put your glasses right back up on the top of your head.
See, Janie was right. I said, look, I know. I could call my boys aren't going to be making fun of me, right? I'm gonna look.
You knew better,
right?
You knew better.
You proved it right,
bro. Take those glasses off the top of your head, my friend. You got to yep. So, welcome to old age, my friend. It's all good. It's all good. So, anyways, gentlemen, let me get some final thoughts here. Zach, final thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely have a lot more to dive into when it comes to this, and in typical ways, we kind of went off the rails. But I think it's all good stuff, and I think. I
don't think we went off the rails today. We
stayed on one aspect of it, I guess, the whole time. But the people side of it, which, John said, like when you grow, and it's like like when we went to gold medal, and I'm looking at like how many people are involved in the day to day there, and it's like there's tons of things happening in areas of the business that are autonomous from Josh or whoever is up there, that are being done by people that are able and competent and do a good job. And I think as this journey in the Empire phase continues to go on and you get bigger, like that is the most important part of it. So I think it was all really good stuff today, and I'm excited to continue on the conversation because this is the stuff I love getting into and trying to understand better.
Mr. Flawless, final thoughts.
Yeah, I agree with Zach as far as this is the type of conversation that gets me going as well, right? This is the never ending journey in educating yourself and learning about people. I'm fascinated by the human psyche and what makes people tick and what makes people do the things that they do, and how a group of people can have a common tipping point or a common motivator, and another group of people and personality type has different things that motivate them and influence them, and then you throw into community and the friends and family and where they grew up from, and and circumstances and all this shit you have to really take into account if you truly want to be a leader. It's fascinating. It really, really is. And as you talk about you get these stages, especially in this empire stage, right? You might get away with an amazing employee when you're first starting and you got 100 to 200 people. Am I looking weird, or am I doing?
No. You're just you look very you were looking right there. You had your glasses on. You were looking to the distance, kind of deep thought into your thoughts. So Zach and I were on the same wavelength here.
And it's but you're at a point where, when you have multiple employees that you are never going to satisfy them all, right? And you have to come to all right, I got to take my glasses off. This is getting bad. Thanks, guys. Love you guys.
It's Edgar. This is Edgar.
We love you, brother.
But where you're at a point where it's just you're never going to be able to satisfy each and every person, and one thing that you do can help motivate one, but it pisses off the other, right? And so on and so forth. In the battle, the tug of war goes on and on. Again, like many subjects we talk about, and the majority of them have to do with people. When we say this, is we can go on and on and on and on for days and hours to talk about it, and still not even get past the tip of the iceberg. So I'm looking forward to continuing this conversation and talking a little bit more about it, because this is the good stuff. So look forward to the next one.
Absolutely. Hey, everybody listening, go out, register for the Heritage Pool Nation Boot Camp, which is going to be March 27th and 28th. We go right after that, April 4th and 5th, out to Oxnard, Ray-Pac. We're going to be doing 2 boot camps. So go to poolnation.com. There's a button that says boot camps. Click on it. You'll have both of them. Go out there, register, join us out there in the boot camps, and then join us as well with the $10,000 Pool Pro Challenge. So join me and John next Wednesday on our Instagram Live. We continue our conversation with our boy David from Cap City Pools. So hope everybody has a great weekend. Boys, we'll catch you on the other side. Later.
See ya.
Thanks for listening to the Pool Nation podcast, a member of the Pool Nation family. You can listen to us live every Friday here at 9 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Central, and 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. You can find us at Pool Nation or poolnationpodcast.com, on Facebook, or on Instagram at pool.nation. And to find more info about Pool Invoice, the billing software built specifically for the pool industry, go to poolinvoice.com. Before you go, this is what the pool industry has been waiting for. PoolmanUniversity.com. It's the first platform dedicated to learning the swimming pool service and repair industry, a full service community where you can connect and find videos on business, service, water chemistry, and repairs. See you there at PoolmanUniversity.com.